And then your hair started falling out, correct?
Oh, yes.
Tell me about that. Did it fall out in clumps or just pieces?
It was just consistently falling out. And to one point, it was to the point where I noticed it was just balling. I actually had no hair in certain areas of my head.
Oh, my goodness. So we have a before and after picture I want to show folks. If we could take a look at the before picture, look at you before. You had seriously lost a lot of hair.
Seriously.
And then the after, it gradually started growing in. Now, what was the problem? Why were you losing hair?
I attributed it to stress, poor nutrition, hormone imbalance, just overwork, just going fast and not taking care of myself.
Tell me what you were eating. For example, what would be your typical meal during the day?
My typical meal would be burgers here, sandwich here, grab a soda, get a cup of tea, ice cream, sounds good, gotta go, busy, run, run, run. Nothing of quality food.
Oh my goodness. So then you went to a doctor.
Yes.
And what did they tell you?
Well, he just said that I was overstressed and I probably needed to address my hormones. I could have been premenopaused at some time.
And what did you do to fix your hormonal levels?
Well, I went and started doing a lot of research. I went to see a herbalist, and in turn, I started to do a lot of reading.
And what did you find out?
I found out that I was definitely hormone imbalanced, and so I said, okay, I'm not going to do the hormone replacement therapy. Let's try something else. So I went to the progesterone cream, which is a natural herb that I use. It's a raw yam.
Where did you put that on your hair?
No, I applied it on my skin, on the thin areas of your skin, to bring my hormones back into balance.
That's fascinating. I'm still confused, though. How do you know if your hormones are off?
There are certain scales or certain scopes that the doctors can use to read your blood or your saliva to measure your hormones to see exactly what level you are.
Okay, so now you've got your hormones back in gear.
Yes, indeed.
What did you do about this diet? Because you look fabulous. So I want to know what you did.
Thank you. I looked down and I said, okay, June, we need to start eating 3 meals a day.
And what are those meals consist
Quality
of?
meals, low carbo, first of all. The American diet is so strong in carbohydrates. I made it my business to reduce the carbo and to tell June to not eat French fries and to not eat the rice and the potatoes with dinner, not to have bread. It was like, I'm a bread alcoholic. I have to have the bread. What am I going to do without my bread?
And you increased your water intake, too,
right? Oh,
right?
yes, most definitely.
How much water do you say you drink a day?
I drink pretty much about 2 gallons of water a day.
Stop.
No, seriously. My business, when I wake up in the morning, 2 liters. I'm at the office, 2 liters between morning time and noon time.
When did you start seeing your hair grow back?
My hair gradually began to appear, I would say, like after the first 6 months. It takes quite a while. Your body, I also worked on a detoxification program, which was to cleanse my system out and take the poison out, remove the toxics. Once we get the toxics removed, then you will start to see quality as far as the hair, the skin, the nails.
And the weight loss. Amazing.
Most definitely.
Joining us now is June's trichologist, Dr. Rodney Barnett. Thank you for being with us, and thank you, June, for sticking around.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, what is a trichologist?
A trichologist addresses persons who have disorders of the hair and the scalp. Most persons who call me up, that's primarily what their problem is. They
Hair loss?
complain about losing hair or scalp disorders.
How common is it for men to lose their hair, and how common is it for women?
More common for men to lose the hair than it is for women. Men primarily are losing their hair for genetic predispositions. But women can also begin to start losing their hair for those same reasons, too. Normally, though, it's about a decade later on in life than it is for men. Men normally will start in their 20s. Women, it's about a decade later, somewhere around about 35 to in their early 40s.
And I think you said several million women lose their hair each year?
Somewhere between 25 to 45 million American women suffer with some type of hair loss throughout the world.
So why is this? When someone comes in, say like June, and they're losing their hair, what do you first do?
Well, the first thing we do is we get a little background. We call it background information, where they'll fill out a case history profile so I can see if the problem runs in the family. It's a genetic predisposition. Then the second thing we do is we have them fill out a form which is called a system analysis. This lets me know if there's an imbalance somewhere within their body, because if it's not a genetic predisposition, 9 out of 10 times it's because they have an imbalance going on inside their body.
And what type of imbalance are we talking about?
It could be imbalances such as a digestive problem, it could be a circulatory problem, it can be a hormonal imbalance that's going on inside the body, it could be a nervous condition. These are just some of the imbalances that are created.
Well, in June's case, it was stress. Part of it was stress,
Part
right?
of it was stress, yes. And it's amazing what stress is the #2 leading reason that women come in to see me that they're losing their hair. They just find themselves chronically in a position where they just worry all the time. They worry about either things that have happened to them or things that they think that are going to happen to
So
them.
what do you recommend they do to reduce stress levels? It's not as easy.
What we tell them is they have to manage it. You know, a lot of women come in and they says, "But you don't understand. You talk about stress management. You're not married to my husband. You don't have my family. You don't have my boss.
Right.
You know, at work." And we still tell them you still have to manage. Don't think about all of the things that you have to do in order to manage stress. Just take one thing at a time, and when you've mastered that, move on to the next.
You say diet is key too.
Be surprised how diet creates an imbalance within inside the body. It's one of the leading causes as to why there's an imbalance within inside the body. Persons primarily eat too much of the wrong type of foods. And primarily when we say the wrong type of foods, we categorize them into two categories. There are acid foods and there are alkaline foods.
I don't know what's...
Okay, your acid foods are going to primarily be all meats, dairy products, and all grains. And even though the body does need protein, because hair is 97% protein, we just simply eat too many of the acid-type foods. And if you take too much acid-type foods into the body, it creates an imbalance.
So I guess a high-protein diet's not good then.
Well, high-protein diets, when we see them, were designed primarily for weight loss. And that's a problem when you see so many of the diets, you know, that are published. They're primarily are short-term. They're designed to lose weights. Very few diets out there really try to show you how to get your health, and that's what the acid to alkaline diet does. It's a diet you can really live with because it's a diet for health.
And what's included in that diet?
What's included is we basically put foods into two categories. You have your alkaline type foods, which primarily are your fruits and your vegetables. Then you have your acid type foods, which are primarily all meats, all dairy products, and grains. A good balance would be about 80% of your alkaline type foods.
Fruits and vegetables.
Fruits and vegetables to about 20% of your acid type foods, which are your meats, your dairy products, and your grains.
Now you brought with you these pH test strips.
Right.
Let me see if I can take one out and tell me what they are.
What a pH test strip does, it helps you to balance out, to be able to see how alkaline or
Can I do one?
Well, basically, we have to take some fluids out of the
Oh,
body.
okay. Well, I'm not giving any fluids today.
We couldn't do it right here on the
Okay.
show because the fluid that we primarily use is urine.
Oh, well, we really won't be doing that on the show.
Can't do that today.
Okay.
But primarily what we ask the client to
take one out for
do
you.
is they actually take this home with them. And they do it when they first get up in the morning. You just take one strip.
Right.
And on the yellow part of the strip, you just inject it into the urine flow.
And what's a good color for it to be?
Well, it'll turn colors. I don't know
I
if you can
see.
see these colors
Kind
right
of like
here.
when you're pregnant, they have you take one of these.
Right. You can see that on the monitor. Okay. What this is doing is helping you to see how acid the body is after you've been eating a certain type of food over a period of time, or how alkaline that the body is. Let's say that your body is very acid. Then it gives you something to work on until you start finding your body getting more into the alkaline range.
Now, we're pretty much out of time, so real quickly, you don't believe in Rogaine and all that stuff. Why, in like a sentence?
Well, not so much that I don't believe in Rogaine. Rogaine, primarily, when it was manufactured for a particular type of problem. Men, though, there is a product called Propecia that Propecia is a very good
believe in
product.
that?
Yeah, for men. Now, women can't use Propecia for various reasons.
Okay. And June, I know you want to help others, and what have you done?
Yes, I formed a women's support group called Sisterhood, Girlfriend to Girlfriend. And based on the experience that I've gone through, I know there are many women that I can share this information with and hopefully get the results that I've obtained.
Well, June, you look fabulous.
Thank
and
you.
I thank you both for being on the show.
Is trichologist Rodney Barnett and also one of his clients, June Eaton. Welcome to Insights, both of you.
Good morning.
Now, what is trichology exactly?
Trichology actually addresses persons who are suffering from hair and scalp disorders.